Namaskar and a very warm welcome to the 45th edition of Water Webinar Series Dialogue with District Magistrates and Municipal Administrators hosted by National Water Mission Ministry of Jal Shakti Government of India। ये कार्यक्रम नेशनल वाटर मिशन की एक पहल है जिसके माध्यम से जिला स्तर पर क्रियान्वित हो रहे जल संरक्षण के सराहनीय प्रयासों को हम समझ सके और अपनी जिम्मेदारी का जल संरक्षण की ओर पालन कर सकें। हम जल समृद्ध भारत के सपने को साकार करने के लिए अग्रसर हैं। हमारी प्रशासन, सरकार सभी इस ओर कदम बढ़ा रही है, पर हमको ये समझने की बहुत जरूरत है कि जल समृद्ध भारत की ओर, इस सुनहरे कल की ओर हम तभी आगे बढ़ पाएंगे जब हम अपने कर्तव्य को समझेंगे। आज इसी कार्यक्रम में, इसी क्रम में हमारे साथ ऐसे दो जिलों के बारे में हम जानेंगे। हमारे साथ दो जिलों से अधिकारी जुड़े हुए हैं जो वाकई में जल संरक्षण के क्षेत्र में लगातार सराहनीय कार्य कर रहे हैं। फिर चाहे वो नारी शक्ति से जल शक्ति को जोड़ना हो या फिर जन भागीदारी को सुनिश्चित करना हो। पर सबसे पहले मैं स्वागत करना चाहूंगी हमारे साथ मुख्य अतिथि के तौर पर जुड़ी हुई हैं अर्चना मैम। मैम इज द मिशन डायरेक्टर नेशनल वाटर मिशन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया। मैम बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका। साथ ही हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं इस चर्चा में आशीष सांगवान सर, कलेक्टर एंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट मैजिस्ट्रेट कामारेड्डी तेलंगाना। हमारे साथ जुड़ी हैं पुष्पलता मैम, डिस्ट्रिक्ट डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसर नवसारी गुजरात। आज का ये कार्यक्रम बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग एंड इंफॉर्मेटिव होने वाला है, जहां हम एक तरफ नवसारी के बारे में जानेंगे जिसने जल संचय जन भागीदारी कॉन्सेप्ट को इनिशिएटिव को अडॉप्ट किया है, जो कि 6 सितंबर को ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी द्वारा लॉन्च किया गया था। इसके अंतर्गत रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स के निर्माण का कार्य को प्राथमिकता प्रदान की जा रही है। साथ ही कामारेड्डी से हमारे साथ सर जुड़े हैं और इस जिले में 18th सेंचुरी में लिगमपेट स्टेपवेल का निर्माण हुआ था, जो कि पीने के पानी का स्रोत था, सिंचाई के लिए पानी का स्रोत था, पर साथ ही ये वहां के लोगों के लिए उनकी घर बन। तो मैं ज्यादा बोलूं इससे पहले मैं चाहूंगी कि अर्चना मैम हम आपसे शुरू करें और कैसे जन भागीदारी और जल संरक्षण को जोड़कर जल समृद्ध भारत की ओर हम आगे बढ़ सकते, इसकी तरह प्रकाश डालें प्लीज मैम।
Thank you, Arpita. Welcome, Ashish and Pushplata to the show. We are so eagerly, waiting to hear from you. There is this story I remember about rats in a hospital in Indore. So there were so many rats in a hospital in Indore that the public and the doctors were really, really uh, um, uh, struggling to run that hospital. And so when the story reached the district commissioner, he started something called the Rogi Kalyan Samiti. You know that it is like a hospital management committee, which now all of you must be aware of, which functions under the National Health Mission now. So it was that district collector who got this bright idea to start a hospital management committee, which the community would run, and the hospitals have from uh, there, uh, from this experiment in Indore, the idea was picked up by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and it became a part. Rogi Kalyan Samiti became a part of the National Rural Health Mission, as it was called in 2005. So that is what the district administrations and district authorities can do. They can launch a best practice which then becomes replicable for everybody else. So here we have two such experiments. I know personally about Navsari because Navsari district started this innovation of having very low cost structures for groundwater replenishment. As you all know, that India is the greatest extractor of groundwater. हम पानी को भूमि से निकालते तो जा रहे हैं बट रिप्लेनिश नहीं कर रहे हैं। और जैसा कि अर्पिता ने कहा, अगर हमें विकसित भारत के मोटिव को अचीव करना है तो उसमें पानी की भागीदारी बहुत जरूरी है। नहीं तो वर्ल्ड बैंक के एक रिपोर्ट से जाना गया है कि 1% of our GDP will be affected, and we will not be able to sustain our economic growth if we don't look at water. Already the effects of climate change are having its effects on water. We are getting these intense rainfalls in a very short period of time. Plus we are getting drought like situation even in areas where the rainfall pattern overall is adequate. So, this seasonality, spatial, and temporal variation of rainfall is causing a lot of problems. Groundwater is getting depleted because we are using a lot of groundwater in our irrigation and agricultural practices, and we are cultivating paddy, sugarcane, wheat, which are some of the water guzzler plants. So, water, as per estimates, is finite. We only have 1126 BCM of water available, and our demand in 2050 is expected to be 1180 BCM because of our rising food demand, because of urbanization, because of industrialization, and also because water is always thought of as a product which will always be there. So slowly, the realization is dawning because nature takes its revenge that water is finite and we must sustainably use it, manage it to ensure that we don't go in for water scarcity levels in the very near future, which is very plausible if we are going at the rate at which we are going. And it is here that district magistrate and district authorities plays a very crucial role, because as providing leadership to the district, they not only influence the activities in the districts, they are also our biggest community connect. I remember that many of you may have faced as district magistrate people coming in, collaborating in something because the district magistrate is giving it priority. But here I would also like to say that, a best practice would be where not only it sustains after you leave, but is also replicated by others. There is no need for reinvention of the wheel, and your practice is adopted by others. So, we are trying to flag the best practices as in the National Water Mission through our compendiums, which we publish from time to time, which is done by a pack, so that your story gets magnified and gets picked up, and people don't have to really then go in for the same thing because that takes a lot of time and energy. So I've heard that Ashish and Pushplata have done some excellent work in their districts. I will not take much time. I request you, Arpita, to go on with the deliberations, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As ma'am said that we assume that water will be always there and therefore we misuse it. We have today with us Ashish sir. Sir has an interesting story of stepwell renovation. Now, for us, it might be just a structure, but for the people there, it's their heritage. Without much, I would request sir to take over and present the story so that we can all get inspired and learn from it. Can we have the presentation, please? Sir, over to you.
Good morning, Archana ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Ashish.
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning to all the officials joining. Uh, First of all, I want to thank Archana ma'am for giving this opportunity to present this restoration work which we have done in Kamareddy district of Telangana. Uh, my name is Ashish Sangwan, and I am presently posted as a collector in Kamareddy district of Telangana, and I'll be talking about the restoration of this old step well through community collaboration, which was done in our district. Next, please. So briefly, I'll discuss the historical significance of this old
One
step
step
well,
here.
and so, as we know, throughout India, we have these old step wells scattered across, and some are renovated, some are in a very dilapidated condition. So, this particular step well is located in Lingampet Mandal of the Kamareddy district, and it is located around 100 kilometers from Hyderabad. And if we look at the history, this stepwell was built by a woman only, Lingamma Desai, and the town name is also after her. So Lingamma Desai, so the town became Lingampet. And it was constructed in 18th century, and it served drinking water and irrigation needs of the area. So, first of all, ma'am, like it shows that women in that era also were very particular about the water needs, and they were aware about the water conservation efforts. So it clearly aligns with the Nari Shakti se Jal Shakti motto of the National Water Mission. So, this queen built this step well, and it served the purpose. Um, but over the years, due to neglect or and lack of management, so this step well got filled with the silt, and vegetation grew. So suddenly, like in last 4 or 5 years, there was a significant interest from the community itself. Ki this step well should be renovated. Some journalists also came forward and wrote the articles. Blog posts were written. Uh, Next, please. So it came into the notice of district administration in 2022, around 2 years back, and this was the state of this step well. So as we can see, there was a lot of vegetation, and the entire well was filled with the silt and waste material, and side walls of the step well had also collapsed. Uh, if you look at this step well, it is the architecture itself is a very magnificent and beautiful. And and from the water conservation point of view, it can hold 30 lakh liters of water, and it is like one of the largest step wells in the Telangana state, measuring 45 meter by 26 meter in length and breadth. Uh, so as it came into the notice of district administration, so the efforts were made to mobilize the community, the local community also. Next, please. So around 2 years back, this renovation was taken up through the. It was ensured that community leads the restoration. First challenge in the process was this land had become private property. Over the years, it was not even government property. So first step was to acquire this land, and thankfully the donor gave this step well for free for the renovation, and we had felicitated that donor, and there is like lot of respect for the donor also in the society now. So first step was acquiring this step well, and then mobilizing the local community, villagers, and all the local villagers, along with women self-help groups. So there is a high number of women self-help groups in Telangana. So in our district, in that mandal, also those women self-help groups came forward. So it was started, and administration provided logistical support, cranes and machinery for removing the silt. And Shramdan was also organized so that people remain involved and connected with the restoration uh, which we were taking up. So for in around 4 or 5 months, the well was the silt was completely removed, and it became like a movement. People and women used to sing songs while they were removing the silt. So the this village has a significant tribal population also. So tribal women were singing songs. So it was a whole community effort, and so this is how it looked after clearing all the silt. The well was pretty deep, and so we were ready for the next step. And since so much community involvement was there, it created a lot of buzz, not only in the district but in the state also. So some private players, which I'll just talk about, they also came forward to support this initiative. Next, please. Since I told like side walls had also collapsed, and there was silt. So silt was completely removed by the community effort. But as I said, so it created a lot of buzz. So other step wells, 2, 3 step wells had been renovated in Telangana. So those experts pitched in that we would like to contribute to renovate this step well also. So Rainwater Project is one of the NGOs, Sahe organization. So they provided technical support to renovate the step well, and they use traditional materials and expertise so that it is renovated and its cultural significance for the town is intact. So uh, so they renovated the structure, and along with that, since it is a water conservation effort, so along the step well, the water flows were studied, and rainwater harvesting structures were created using modular recharge tanks, so that whenever it rains, uh, this rainwater goes into the step well. So if we look at the old architecture, there were holes which are known as weep holes. So the water used to go through these holes into the step well. So we took care of that, and these modular tanks were designed in a way, and they had filter also, because right now we don't want any like pollution of the groundwater. So they have filters, and whenever it rains, through these recharge tanks, the water seeps into the uh, step well. And this effort was supported by Infosys Foundation also. So here we see like community effort. It started with community effort. It was supplemented by private companies through CSR, and overall. Next, please. Yeah. So only last month we completed this renovation, and it was dedicated to the society, this step well, and it was a very good program. On 20th September, we had dedicated to the public. So here we see photos of the local women self-help groups. They participated in the inauguration. There was a lot of excitement, and uh, so now the step well is being used along with the water conservation and groundwater recharge. It is acting as a tourist spot also in a way, and it is being managed by the local SHG women group only. And in last 1 month itself, they have generated significant revenue through selling of tickets. So if we combine such efforts with aligning the economic interests of the local society, it becomes a sustainable also. That is what we are observing here. So this step well is now being used during festivals and other important events in the district. And with this renovation, we have seen like lot of awareness has come regarding water conservation. So the in the district also and in the state. So because it is just one step well, it will lead to groundwater recharge in that locality only. But if we see the impact on the society at large and in the district and the state, that it has motivated other people, other communities to come up with other water conservation programs. Next, please. So these are some of the above photo is from the inauguration. One cultural group participated in the inauguration, and as I said, the step well, as we see here, is being used for other events. Students are being brought to the step well to tell about the water conservation issues and importance of water. So it has created a lot of buzz, and now as we see, so it stands as a good example of community-driven heritage restoration, which has a significant environmental impact on water conservation. And it is sustainable because it is being managed by a local group, and the local communities involved. Their interests are aligned economically, culturally. Uh, so we hope that it will be sustainable, and with the revenue which they are generating, it will be maintained in this way in the future also. And and it also shows that first community involvement and then technical support is equally important in restoration of all these old structures. uh, so now it has become a symbol of water conservation and cultural heritage. So overall, it was a very satisfying experience to see through the conservation and restoration of this old stepwell, and it has motivated others also. Now we have identified 19 other stepwells in the district, where communities coming forward that we also want to do similar things, similar restoration in those stepwells. So, and I hope it inspires other districts also, because I know there are these old structures in all the districts, I'm sure. So I think such community-led effort combined with some CSR and or other funds, such kind of restoration is possible, which leads to water conservation and creates lot of awareness and regarding water conservation. Next. Okay, so that is all. This is one photo where students are participating in a and doing yoga in this step well, and we see that after this monsoon, a lot of water has come in the step well, and it is very clean and looking very good. It is creating, it is getting a lot of tourist direction also. So that is all from my side, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Arpita, we cannot hear you.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I just unmuted myself. I would like to thank sir because this was a fantastic example wherein the restoration led by women and the awareness that it is driving is phenomenal. Moreover, the convergence that has been used entirely is something that the other districts can replicate. Ma'am, if you want to, how can convergence be helpful to drive water conservation?
So, Ashish, congratulations. This is a fantastic model of showcasing all the objectives which are required in water conservation. One is harnessing traditional wisdom and traditional heritage, keeping the historical integrity intact, using CSR funds mobilizing resources, keeping women as the center, aligning it with livelihood and, resource generation for sustainability. Also, ensuring that awareness is spread and without any damage to the structure. So this is what a DM can do in a district, or the district authorities can do. That, community wants a lot of things, but there are many barriers to accessing resources, to accessing technical expertise by the community. So there you play a catalyst, and congratulations on on this effort. We are including it in our best practice, which we'll be rolling out in our national water awards, because you have all the ingredients which are required for a sustainable effort in water conservation. So it's almost like a masala movie. So I wish you all the success that, in your other ventures also, that you have identified. And we hope that this, and it's also beautifully visualized. Sometimes we do good work, but the visualization is not good, so others don't get attracted. But, they may be doing similar good work. So when I was leafing through the compendium that Sangamitra had first prepared, this was what caught my eye, because you had beautifully documented and visualized it, apart from the good work that you had done. So that is another thing, that the experiment increases in its appeal because of the beautiful visualization, and I'm sure that the it will become a big tourist attraction, because it looks visually spectacular in the photographs. And I hope that your other remaining, restoration projects are also built on these lines, because this actually has all the ingredients of a successful water conservation effort. So, congratulations, Ashish, once
Thank you,
again.
ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving on, we have Pushpalata ma'am with us, District Development Officer from Navsari. Also, we have been joined by a Nari who's actually implicating Nari Shakti se Jal Shakti. She's with ma'am, I guess. And if she can come in the frame. So we'll first hear the story of Navsari, how the economical barrel recharge system is helping with groundwater recharge, and how Jal Sanchay se Jan Bhagidari is taking place. Over to you, ma'am, and then we would interact with Amita Ben Patel.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon, all. Hope I'm audible.
हाँ हाँ, बिल्कुल सुन पा रहे हैं पुष्पलता.
Arpita ji, can we have presentation?
Sure, ma'am. Can we have the presentation? Yeah.
So I'll talk little bit about first Navsari district and then about Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari. Jal Sanchay Jan Bhagidari concept was initiated on 6th of September. Program was done by Honorable PM sir, and it was lead was taken by our Honorable Union Minister of Jal Shakti, who happens to be fortunately our MP as well from Navsari constituency. So main aim of this program was how to involve people and how we can move ahead towards water conservation. So main goals behind this program was taking all the people, bringing all the people together, boosting groundwater levels, promoting water conservation, and ultimately leading to climate resilience and improving water quality. Next, please. If I talk about Navsari district, Navsari is a small district scattered in the area of around 2196 square kilometer area, happening to have around 14 lakh of population on an average. Our district have 6 talukas, and diversity it happens here. 3 talukas are tribal talukas and 3 talukas have general population, that is mixed population. So in eastern part of our district, that happens Vasda and Khairgam talukas, hilly and forest terrains are there. And in western part, that is Navsari and Jalalpur taluka, most of Jalalpur and Gandevi taluka comes. Here it belongs to the sea coast. So in this area, sea water gets inundated and more of having salty saline water soil. In between both east and west, there comes true Navsari, that is, we can say, green belt of Navsari. And in this green belt, most of India's famous, I would say, India's famous, I am saying, because mango and chiku that are grown here as well famous throughout the country, not only country, we are also exporting in a large amount. It is also known as orchard of Gujarat also. And nurseries that are being developed in these areas are also having a very large huge economic activity as benefits. So there is huge diversity in district. As average, we talk about in our district around 2000 mm of rainfall happens during rainy season, which happens to exceeded around 2850 mm this year, which exactly I agree with what Archana ma'am said in the beginning, that large of climate change patterns, that we are changing rainfall patterns. So we can rarely see ki in last 2 years around our average rainfall was around 1972 mm, which exceeded to 2838 mm this year. Next. So to bring this large disparity, which is in geographical as well as in climatic agroclimatic zones, rainwater harvesting was a one need, because in western part where agriculture is not possible and saline soil is there, on the same side in eastern parts of our district, during summers, I would say March onwards, water level goes beyond much beyond, and people don't have accessibility, not only for agriculture, but also they have some issues for getting low nearby having availability of water, drinking water. So first of all, we cover how to do rainwater harvesting. So main 5 components were there. First, it include catchment area from where water can be collected. Second, how can conveyance system, how to transport the water. Then first rain that is falling, that needs to be flushed out, and filtered water we wanted to take it to the aquifer recharge. The call was given by our Honorable Union Minister of Jal Shakti. Sir has given us clear cut idea about that. Yes, so much of rainfall when falling in the area, we need to catch this water. The mission that was started by National Water Ministry in 2021, Catch the Rain. In true sense, we did convergence from so many different schemes. So in Navsari district, we have different recharge structures, that is low cost starting from 8500 to the higher cost taking it to 10 lakh, 20 lakh. So we will talk about some models that are implemented in our district for rainwater harvesting. Next. So as I already spoke, what was the need of rainwater harvesting in our district, as we were having lots of rainfall in our area. It happens that in April, May, when water availability is less, scarcity of water is there in few talukas of our district, it happens 3 to 4 times flood comes in our district during rainy season. That happens in rain is falling in upstream and flood is coming in downstream. So we wanted to have some solution for that, and for that rainwater harvesting is helpful in that as well. Next. So these are some models and designs which we implemented in our district. One happens borewell recharge. In this open borewell structure, water from the catchment areas being collected and sipping going in the existing borewell, giving one connection in the existing borewell, and filtered water is going to the existing borewell and helping in recharge of the existing borewell, so that water level which goes beyond a level after March and April, it remains there and drinking water remains available to the community. Next. As we talked about community participation, community was also very much involved in these all decision and all structures what we made. Rooftop rainwater harvesting, which we also did in all government structures, as well as community also at local level, villagers also started it in their home. Rainfall that is coming during rainy season, people collect this through pipes, people collect this water, flush out first rain, and after that through this chamber they directly connect it to the borewell recharge and help in recharging the existing water levels. Next. Check dams is another model which is also being done in many parts of the country. As geography of district is different, in some areas there is large areas having coverage of many rivers. There are three major rivers and 2 to 3 minor rivers that are coming in Navsari district, as well as 3 minor dams are also coming in our area. So we are having basic some check dams come causeways, so that water remains stuck for some time and also helps in recharging of existing water levels. Next. These are some low cost solution what that was done in our district. This was started by our honorable Union Minister of Jal Shakti only. The idea was given that low cost solution at scattered areas, at multiple locations we have to move ahead. So on that basis only, at local level, using these low cost barrels that are having holes in their surroundings and having a structure, so that water coming from the roof goes directly to the aquifer after getting it recharged. Next. So these were some different work types and convergence from different departments that was done along with community participation. Around 2,000 of work were planned in government buildings through Manrega funds in all the schools that are existing. Under Samagra Shiksha, rainwater harvesting projects were taken, and that were taken so that water is falling, that is catch the rain project that can be implemented in true spirit. Some irrigation department check dams and check dam come causeways are being done, so that for some duration of time farmers are having accessibility to the water. They can use water from these check dams, and those farmers, those who are having only one single crop during the whole year, that can take benefit of it, and they can take two crops a year. Under PMKSY, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana also, lots of work was done for water conservation. In urban area also, all the societies that are being approved and their designs that are being approved, it is a condition that has been made that society has to make structures and make local provision, so that rainfall falling in their area is not going outward. They have to make recharge structures, and water falling there need to go after proper filtration, needs to go into the aquifer recharging only. In all the major bridges and all where water is falling, the collected water is also being used for recharging. Also from 15th Finance Commission, from starting from the Gram Panchayat level to the Taluka Panchayat level and Jilla Panchayat level, some different structures were taken. Some has been completed and some are under process, but convergence from different departments was made, so that as availability of funds is with different department, but ultimately we can lead to water harvesting and recharge structures, and ultimately finally we can truly in fact achieve our goal of catch the rain. Community participation, I would like to focus as our Honorable Prime Minister as well as our Honorable Minister of Union Minister of Jal Shakti always focus on community participation. On the call of Honorable Minister, community also came forward and also participated. They not only helped in having recharge structures as their home only, but also as community they adopted villages or their areas in their surrounding, and they made water recharging bores in their areas, and around 381 structures have been done by community in our district. We have Amita bin with us, who herself has done around 103 recharge borewell structures in our area, giving us example that how community participation can help us and give us a mode that how we can move ahead in convergence and coordination together. Next. Amita Ben is saying we have completed more than 500 structures as community participation that have been completed now. I may be having older figures, so the figure we are having is little less showing. So these are some structures that were done under Catch the Rain project in different Nagarpalika area as well as from different government buildings. We followed it. All the different structures, including recharge pit, borewell recharge, rooftop rainwater harvesting structure, a rooftop rainwater harvesting structure with bore, percolation tank with bore. All these models and designs we took in convergence and implemented for recharging in our area. Next. These are some of the examples that were done, around 51 that we already talked about in schools, how rooftop rainwater harvesting was done, and how check dams in water, where water flows through the rivers or through minor as extra water from the dams or from the major rivers, check dams were made in between. And we are also having an impact analysis of that how farmers have benefited after these, how many people are able to take 2 crops a season, those who are earlier limited one crop, and also recharge level of aquifers also has been increased. Next. These are some of the pictures we are having where community as well as Nari Shakti has come forward to have to come up to have borewells in their own areas and to helping the administration as well as the system to take the lead further in increasing number of recharge structures. Next. These are some of examples as we talked about. It may be older figure, but different in community participation, different people have come up, did rainwater harvesting structures not only in their area as well as they have adopted villages and areas coming in their jurisdiction, and they have planned it on the call of our Honorable Union Minister. Some structures has also been made as recharging structure in existing Amrit Sarovar and talas that were there. Extra water was going out of that, and through the talav, through the recharging structures from the talavs, they have also rejuvenated well, and also water level got increased as well as salinity of water got reduced. Bhutsad village that is shown there is one example under this. Next. These are some local examples where percolation tanks and percolation bores were done by community to increase rainwater conservation efforts. Next. Next. These are some benefits after having convergence from different departments and all the stakeholders coming together. Annual income of farmers was able to increase as they started taking 2 crops a year and having sufficient water for irrigation available. One major model that was selected in our district was there were waterlogging areas. For example, when there is a village in Salej where water used to log during rainy season, by community there were around 5 to 6 borewells were made. Borewells after water get filtered through siltation chambers. Water was going through these borewells, and water logging problem that was existing, that got completely eliminated in those areas. We also had one impact analysis that salinity of water in these areas under TDS that were taking from the groundwater, that also got reduced to quite extensive level. Next. Some under the same series of different exercises, around 3,607 people participated in different awareness activities and different awareness camps that were locally organized by Krishi Vigyan Kendra as well as district administration. Through different camps were organized by WASMO also to make people aware about it, as well as to increase people participation into it, to further take the aim of community participation ahead. Next. Ultimately, we are taking National Water Mission's aim of Catch the Rain project. We are taking it further with the same goal of to maximize having rooftop rainwater harvesting structures in all government buildings, as well as through community participation in personal households as well. We have also taken up all the defunct borewells that were existing, that were earlier done by water supply department, and water was not available due to reasons that water was existing very deeper levels. All these defunct borewells are also taken as water recharging structures. Different rainwater harvesting structures are made with public participation in gram panchayats and at different taluka panchayat awareness camps, as well as training sessions are being organized and informing them which model can be best for their area, at which level the water level is there, and which type of model that can be followed. Next. These pictures belong to tribal area, where after desiltation of a river, a check dam was created, water was collected there, and through having CSR involvement, solar plant was installed there, and these community people, one committee was made. These around 30 families are now doing cropping twice. They are taking 2 crops a year, and the complete taking care of all the solar panels, and the project is taken care by these community itself. This lift irrigation project in a taluka border village of Navsari not only had 30 families, but also have provided availability of water throughout the year. This was done by L&T as CSR initiative, but it has really given good results, as we are taking it to replicate in some other areas as well. These were some of the examples which were taken by Navsari in convergence and did water harvesting to increase the aim of Catch the Rain objective. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It again stands as a very fine example for water conservation. But before we move on, I would like to talk to Amita Ben Patel. मैम, अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए और आपको कैसे ये प्रेरणा मिली कि इस क्षेत्र में काम करना है, उस पे प्रकाश डालिए। और मैम ने जैसा इंटरप्ट करके बोला कि नहीं 500 बन चुके हैं, शायद यही ओनरशिप चाहिए ताकि हम जल संरक्षण को सुनिश्चित कर पाए। मैम बिल्कुल आपको सुनने के लिए हम बैठे हैं, बताइए।
गुड आफ्टरनून, नमस्ते मैडम जी। हमारे नवसारी जिले में हमारे जो सांसद माननीय और हमारे केंद्रीय मंत्री माननीय श्री CR पाटिल सर के सहयोग से हमने नवसारी जिले में विविध इलाकों में वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग का काम, हमारे यहाँ अमुक ऐसा एरिया है कि वहाँ पे पानी का स्रोत ज्यादा नीचे जाने की वजह से जो समर सीजन आती है तब पानी की तकलीफ समस्या खड़ी हो जाती है और पानी का प्रॉब्लम शुरू हो जाता है। इस बार पहले से लोगों में अवेयरनेस आए, इसलिए हमारे सांसद श्री ने हमको बताया, लोगों के सहयोग से हम लोगों ने जहां जहां पानी का जो स्रोत है वहां पे पानी वेस्ट होता है जो रेनी सीजन का, और नदी नाले और बह के सब समुद्र में जाता है पानी। तो वो पानी जमीन में कैसे लाया जाए उसके लिए हमने ये बोर रिचार्ज का काम पहले तो लिया। जहाँ जहाँ पानी का स्टोरेज होता है, पानी बह के आगे निकल जाता है, वहां पे हम लोगों ने 40 से 50 फुट तक का बोर किया और उसमें जो हमने आगे मैडम जी ने आपको बताया, जो पिक्चर में दिखाया गया था उसके हिसाब से हमने ऐसा प्लान बना के 50 फुट बोर करने के बाद टंकी जैसा बनाने के बाद उसमें जो कंकर डालने के बाद वहां एरिया ऐसा कर देंगे जो पानी वहां से डायरेक्ट जमीन में जाएगा। उसकी वजह से जो पानी का स्रोत है जो कम हो जाता है वो नहीं हो सकता है। इसलिए ऐसे ऐसे तो हमने कई जगह पर लोगों को भी समझाया, जो हमारे यहाँ गांव में जो लोग रहते हैं उनको भी बताया कि आपके यहाँ जो पानी वैसे ही घर में से निकल जाता है, उनको भी समझाया। तो वो जो हमको बताया था वो टंकी डालने के सब जगह के खोल करने के बाद
परकोलेशन टैंक।
हाँ, परकोलेशन इंग्लिश में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन ऐसा भी हमारे गांव में बहुत सारे लोगों ने अवेयरनेस दिखाया और अपने घर के सामने जो जगह होती है वहां पे ऐसा इसमें नॉमिनल चार्ज होता है, ज्यादा खर्चा भी नहीं होता और लोगों ने अपने खुद के पैसे से वो काम किया। और उसकी वजह से जो हमारे नवसारी जिला में कई इलाकों में ऐसा काम होने के वजह से हमको ऐसा लगता है कि इस बार जो पानी बहकर समुद्र में जाता था, लेकिन इस बार हमारे यहाँ पानी जमीन में संग्रह हुआ है। और हमारे साथ साथ हमको तो जो हमारी जिला पंचायत की टीम है, हमारे डीडीओस मैडम है, और उन्होंने भी कहीं जगह पर मीटिंग करके पदाधिकारी हो और हमारे जो पीएससी सेंटर है, आंगनवाड़ी सेंटर है, पंचायत घर है, सब जगह पे आज हम देखते हैं तो जो पानी वैसे ही निकलता था वह सब जमीन में कैसे जाए उसके लिए एक प्रोजेक्ट तैयार करने के बाद सब जगह पर ऐसी कार्यवाही हमने की है। तो जो हमारे सांसद माननीय श्री सीआर पाटिल साहब ने जो अभी एक ही टारगेट बनाया है कि पानी बचाओ, वो कैसे करने का हो, वो हमारे नवसारी में वो उनका ही इलाका है। तो हमें गर्व है कि हमारे एरिया में हम लोग एकदम सफलता से मैडम जी के सहयोग से हो और हमारे सांसद हो और हमारे जो जो प्रतिनिधि है उनके साथ मिलकर हमने हमारे नवसारी जिले में कई ऐसा काम किया है जिससे हम वाटर का कैसे सेव किया जाए उसका हमने कामगिरी हमारे यहाँ की है।
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। शायद आपकी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है उससे बाकी लोग प्रेरित होंगे और जल संरक्षण के क्षेत्र में काम करेंगे। इसी के साथ हम वी आर मूविंग टू द एंड ऑफ दिस ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम, बट बिफोर दैट आई वुड
सुनो
रिक्वेस्ट
सुनो,
अर्चना।
ऑन करो। कंग्रेचुलेट नहीं करने दोगी पुष्पलता और अनीता बहन को?
I would like to ask ma'am to put in her
तो
views regarding the Navsari work.
पहले तो नवसारी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बिकॉज ये जो जल संचय जन भागीदारी आज पूरे भारत देश में जो जा रही है, इसकी प्रेरणा नवसारी से ही मिली है। ऐसा नहीं है कि कैच द रेन में या नेशनल वाटर मिशन में ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स पहले नहीं हो रहे थे, बट जो आप लोगों ने इसमें जो नवीनता डाली है वो ये कि ये सामुदायिक प्रयास से, इंडस्ट्रियल सीएसआर इनिशिएटिव से, एंड इवन लोगों के प्राइवेट इनिशिएटिव से हो सकता है। ये रास्ता जो आपने दिखाया है कि सिर्फ सरकार ही नहीं, अगर एक्चुअली जो लोग हैं और स्पेशली नारी, अगर वो ले जिम्मेदारी पानी संरक्षण की, तो हमें ये जो भय है कि कुछ सालों में भारतवर्ष में पानी स्केर्सिटी लेवल पे चला जाएगा, ये नहीं होगा। और इसके लिए मैं पुष्पलता को उसके जो मेटिकुलसनेस है कि उसने कन्वर्जेंस किया है बहुत ही मेटिकुलस वे में, और सब जो सरकार के जितने भी विभाग हैं जो जो पानी से डील करते हैं उन सबको जोड़ा है। और यही मतलब सबसे अच्छी यही बात है कि जो हम बार बार जल शक्ति अभियान नेशनल वाटर मिशन में कहते हैं कि बिना होल ऑफ सोसाइटी, बिना होल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट अप्रोच के ये नहीं होगा, क्योंकि हम मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ जल शक्ति से पैसा नहीं देते हैं, फिर भी लाखों इस तरह के वाटर रिचार्ज स्ट्रक्चर्स बनाए जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये जो लीडरशिप डिस्ट्रिक्ट में दिखाया जा रहा है, जिस तरह से आप कम्युनिटी सहयोग कर रही है, ये देखा जा रहा है कि जहां जहां भी कम्युनिटी ओन कर रही है कि ठीक है, पानी बचाने की जिम्मेदारी सिर्फ सरकार की नहीं है, पर जैसा हमारे आदरणीय प्राइम मिनिस्टर कहते हैं कि जो आंदोलन है वो जन आंदोलन के साथ ही आ सकता है। बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि ये नहीं आ सकता है, पानी का पूरा जिम्मा सरकार के पास होना चाहिए, पानी पहुंचाने का भी जिम्मा सरकार के पास होना चाहिए। तो इस मिशन से, जल शक्ति अभियान से, जल संचय जन भागीदारी से हम धीरे धीरे ये जो परसेप्शन है कि वाटर इज ओनली गवर्नमेंट्स बिजनेस, इसको हम दूर करना चाह रहे हैं। और इसके लिए नवसारी, सूरत और जो गुजरात के डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं उन्होंने कर दिखाया है कि कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेट करे तो हम बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। लेकिन अब मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि दूसरे जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं वो आपको अब पीछे छोड़े जा रहे हैं। तो पुष्पलता, आप ना अब टॉप 5 से स्लिप कर गए हो, तो इसीलिए जो अपलोड करो डेटाबेस, और जैसा कि अनीता बहन ने कहा कि नहीं हम और भी कम्युनिटी से कर रहे हैं, तो उसको प्लीज करते रहो, क्योंकि ना कभी कभी काम अच्छा कर देते हैं पर वो दिखता नहीं है। तो नवसारी से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि सिंस ये आपकी इनिशिएटिव है जो पूरे भारतवर्ष में अब इम्प्लीमेंट हो रही है, तो कम से कम तो आप टॉप 3 में रहना ही चाहिए, चाहे जैसे भी हो। तो और भी कम्युनिटी एफर्ट्स की जरूरत है, और भी लोगों की जगाने की जरूरत है। और लेकिन आप लोगों ने जो किया, सबसे बड़ा मैसेज, 2 मैसेज जो दिया कि कम्युनिटी भागीदारी, सीएसआर, और सेकंड मैसेज जो हम ले जा रहे हैं सबको कि ये कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव है। क्योंकि जैसे भी आप समुदाय को कहते हैं कि आइए जुड़िए, और उसके बाद उसको बोलते हैं 15 लाख का कुछ बनाइए, तो हिचकिचाहट होती है। बट यहाँ पे आपने दिखा दिया, जैसा कि पुष्पलता ने कहा, कि 8,500 से भी हम पानी का संचय कर सकते हैं। और साथ साथ उसके साथ जो टेक्निकल ये है वो आप भूल नहीं गए कि चलो गड्ढा खोद दो पानी चला जाएगा। आप सबको ये भी बोल रहे हैं कि फर्स्ट रेन वाटर को फ्लश आउट करना पड़ेगा। जो टेक्निकल विधियां हैं वो भी अवेयरनेस क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। तो इसके लिए जो जो आप एफर्ट्स ले रहे हैं बहुत सराहनीय है। और यही हमारे पूरे जल शक्ति अभियान का मिशन है कि कम्युनिटी की भागीदारी होनी चाहिए। और दोनों जो आज दोनों जो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस बताए गए, वो दोनों कम्युनिटी पे आधारित हैं, तभी वो हम सस्टेनेबल कर पाएंगे। नहीं तो अगर एक अच्छा डीएम आ गया, एक अच्छी डीडीओ आ गई, चले गए, फिर कुछ नहीं होगा। अगर सिर्फ सरकार ही करी तो मेंटेन ही नहीं होगा फिर वो स्ट्रक्चर। बट आप अपने घर में लगाओगे, कम्युनिटी को ओनरशिप दोगे, तो मेंटेनेंस की जिम्मेदारी उनके पास रहेगी। सो आज 2 बहुत ही अच्छे बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हुए, और जिसमें कम्युनिटी एट सेंटर ऑफ वाटर कंजर्वेशन, जो बार बार हम लोग सबको कह रहे हैं, वो आज दिखा। बहुत बेहतर उसका एक स्वरूप दिखा है। तो जिसके लिए धन्यवाद। एंड ओवर टू यू अर्पिता।
थैंक यू सो मच मैम, आपके मार्गदर्शन के कारण ये संभव है। जैसा कि आपने बोला कि सबकी सहभागिता से ही जल संरक्षण संभव है, सो इट इज मोर for the community by the community, and both of these districts have got very well examples on those lines. I would like to thank Ashish sir and DDO Madam Pushpalata ma'am. Also, I would like to extend my thank you to Anandi Ben Patel for joining us and the audiences who have been watching us. I hope that we take some lessons along with us and put our best foot forward for water conservation. We'll be soon back with 46th edition of Water Webinar series. Thank you so much for joining in.